And what we do in such cases, we treat these three terms as three vectors, or we assume let q be equal to
Daddy.
q naught into sine omega t minus phi. I'm assuming it that. Why I'm taking minus sign? Because I already know how it will be, what it will give us. I know this one will be lagging as compared to this because I have this idea that differentiating this. First term, what is first term? First vector. First vector is take like amplitude q naught divided by c. That is first vector, right? I have to take this vector, which will become q naught sine omega t minus phi upon c. Next vector will be by differentiating. Differentiating q will give us, it will make it lead. Differentiation will make it lead. Remember, differentiation turns it by 90 degrees. Okay, so it will turn it by 90 degrees this side, clockwise direction. And then once more differentiation will make it turn once again in this direction. And then resultant is finally, what is the resultant? Resultant will be taken in opposite order. Resultant of these three will be this, V naught sine omega t. So if this is the reference, then minus 5 will be this side. Means, and clockwise angles will be taken negative, and the anti-clockwise ones will be taken positive, right? And clockwise one will be taken as negative. Therefore, I have taken in the beginning itself that this is negative as compared to this, because I knew it will form this kind of diagram. So what do we get here finally? V naught, V naught. And that side we are getting double derivative. One more thing I think I have to, first I have to write here first derivative. First derivative is R into Q naught and derivative into omega, I think, right or not? If I take this here, then I will be getting Q naught cos omega t minus phi into omega by differentiating charge, and then I have to multiply by R also. So, but what is the term we are getting? We are getting R omega Q naught. But cos term means sine of omega t minus phi plus pi by 2. Is it right or not? Cos term. Huh?
Yes, sir.
So then we get it as R into Q naught into omega. And already I have taken care of, no, sorry, this was already done here, already taken care of 90 degree. This is different. This is this term. What will be that? That will be equal to double derivative will give us omega square into Q naught. Sign will change into minus sign. That's why it is in backward direction. Now, if it is omega t minus phi direction, so it will be minus omega t minus phi direction, opposite of that. Okay. It is which phase direction? It is minus phi. It is minus phi plus 90 degrees. And this vector is here minus phi plus pi, like this. And
Sir, there you forgot Q naught omega square L nas.
where I have to write?
There,
In
sir.
this place.
Yes, sir.
In this place L, and then
That's it.
that only. All right, that only. And I wanted to mention this one will be which phase? 0 degree phase. This is reference. I am writing the phases also for these vector space. This is 0 degree phase. Okay, this is our reference line. As compared to that, it is turned clockwise. So I have taken its phase as minus phi. Understood? Right. What will be tan phi, etc.? What will be tan phi value? Tan phi value will be what? this divided by this. The perpendicular is r into q naught omega divided by
Q naught C
This-
minus Q naught omega square L.
q naught by c minus
Q
q
naught
naught
omega.
into omega square L. So what do we get here? R into omega divided by 1 by c minus omega square L. Is it right? That only,
Yes, sir.
which I can write also as 1 by LC minus omega square. And here I have to write RL. What should I take common outside? R by L. I have taken L outside, so it will become L outside, right? Then this will become okay, fine. I think this only. All right. Means different ways we can write. Now I can put it as omega naught square. Omega naught means natural frequency of oscillation. I can write in that form. R omega by L into omega naught square minus omega square. That is equal to tan phi. Also, what is a value V naught? V naught will become by Pythagoras theorem. It will become Q naught by C minus minus
Q naught L.
omega square into Q naught
L, sir.
into L whole square. No, not this.
Not L.
This whole square, I think, right?
Yes.
Because this vector minus this, then it will be this much only, whole square,
R Q naught
plus
omega whole square.
plus this one here. This one is becoming R into Q naught omega whole square, and then we are getting V naught square. Then from here I can get Q naught. How to get Q naught from here? From this equation, take Q naught square common. We will be left with 1 by C minus omega square L square and plus R omega square is equal to V naught square, or V naught square is equal to V naught square upon 1 by 1 by C minus omega square L whole square plus omega R square. Or I can take root of that. This will be V naught, and here there will be root. What do I get it now? I think I can take L outside. Then I get V naught divided by 1 by LC minus omega square whole square plus omega R by L whole square, which is equal to V naught divided by, what is 1 by LC? Omega naught square minus omega square whole square plus, what is the second term? Second term I can think as if it is,
Shift.
yes,
L will be outside one. L
One-
not by L.
what
You
will be
take
outside?
it in common as L. Common, sir.
L will be outside, right?
Yes, sir.
L will be outside. And what we get inside now? Omega square R square upon L square. So we are getting omega square into R upon L. I think I can think of L upon R as time constant, right? Time constant of LR circuit. Do you know about it? Time constant of LR circuit is L by R.
Yes, sir. It was.
And I think I may not have stressed on it this time, but I stressed last time that whenever you want to get the time constant, the method is that treat all the batteries like short circuit.
Yes, sir. Conducting.
Okay, those
Yes,
will
sir.
be taken like
Inductors and
conducting.
resistors.
Those will be taken like conducting wires, and then we can get this effective equivalent, effective L we can get. And how do we get effective L? Just by adding L1 plus L2, so on. That will
then
give us a
parallel also we can add.
no, not in parallel. In series, I'm saying in parallel, like resistances, we treat those. How do we take in parallel? You know, how do we take in parallel? Or maybe I will take a few examples. Just remind me. This is also one important thing to which is to be done yet. Let me take few questions on time constant of LR circuits. Okay, then after that I will continue with this. Anyway, what is it coming out to be now? Now we are getting V naught. This is omega square here. I left that term here. What was this term? This term is omega by tau.
Omega square
By tau.
by tau.
LR tau for LR circuit. This is it. Okay. This is the value of Q naught. So we have obtained, and those who are not understanding this part, please revise SHM. Last year I have taken this clearly that we can always assume it to be this. And another way you can think, just remember that its solution will be unique. Its solution will be unique. Even if we are able to guess the solution and it is able to satisfy it, then our answer will be correct only because the solutions of the differential equations are unique. Okay, so this will be correct only. Although some transient terms will be there in this. Transient term means, for example, if I take Q as linear function of time means like A into T plus B, some linear function of time. You know, double derivative when we take for this, that will make it not double derivative. I think double derivative will make it 0. Single derivative will make it some constant A. This will not make it 0. I think I cannot take linear function. I can take some constant Q naught. If I take Q naught, then this term will give us 0, and that 0 can be added with this. So other than this, I can have some Q naught also here, because that also will be satisfying the same equation. Is it true or not? If I just take Q naught here, no, that it's not satisfying. Q naught by C will appear, which will be not satisfying this.
Then additionally,
Wait a second. I think we can take this term. For example, I can think as if it is 0 here. So whatever we had solution for the last, which was obtained already, Q naught into E raised to alpha t, those will also be applicable. So I can say I can add with this plus some Q naught into E raised to alpha t. This Q naught may be different from that Q naught, because if I differentiate this whole, then also I will be getting V naught sin omega t. Is it true or not? Because when we put this in this equation, we already know the answer will be just 0. We have already proved it before, right? So therefore, this is not the complete solution. What could be the complete solution? Complete solution could be plus Q naught into E raised to power alpha t, as in last question. Okay. So in order to get the complete solution of the differential equation, we get something for this particular function and something, even if we have just 0, what do we get for that? That also will be added. This thing value is only applicable for initial stages, only for the initial stages, not afterwards. I think minus alpha it should be, if I remember it right. Yes, I have taken alpha as this only, but finally I know this will come out to be negative term here. Q naught into A, E into A raised to power minus A1t into sine of A2 t plus 5. So it is some negative term here. So when we put t as infinity, what will happen when we put t as infinity or after sufficiently long time? This term will become 0 or not?
yes, sir.
This term will become 0. So you can, I am writing it here. This second term becomes 0. Second term becomes 0 as t tends to infinity, because alpha has a negative number. If it has some real part, that real part will always be negative. Imaginary part can be there additionally, that is different, but the real part of this will always be negative, because alpha has negative real part. I'm not saying that it is only complex number, it could be a real number also. So total, even if it is real number, then it will be negative, And if it is complex, then it's just real term will be negative. If you are again not understanding this, again refer back yesterday what I have taken. From there we can say why I am saying such things, right? So alpha will have negative real part. And if it has negative real part, then when time will approach to infinity, this term will become 0. We call the second term as transient term. What we call this term as transient term, and this we call as steady state term. Steady state term, and this is transient. Transient means in the beginning only. For example, when this circuit is freshly prepared, this is some inductor, capacitor, and resistor, and now only I have just close the switch here. At t equal to 0, I closed it. And this is V0 sine omega t. Just if I close it at t equal to 0, then there may be some transient solution appearing. Okay. And one more thing. I'm not saying that this Q0 will be this equal to same Q0 as this. No, it may be different from that. And it may come out to be 0 also in certain cases. If it is 0, then there will be no transient state from the beginning. From the beginning, only it will require the steady state. Okay. Which solution we are interested in? I have seen in all the books at your level, they don't even discuss the transient state solution. When they ask the solution, normally they refer about the steady state solution. So you don't have to waste time in determining this. You can just determine this, and that is enough for you. And how to determine this? I told you that first we have to assume it. After assuming, we will treat these like vectors with the direction representing by the angles of this term, which is added with omega t term. For example, V0 sine omega t. What is added to V0 sine omega t term? There is nothing, 0. I am taking one thing as reference. This is 0 degree. The ones which are clockwise with respect to that, those will be negative. Ones which are anti-clockwise with respect to that, those will be taken positive. So with respect to this, which is already minus pi, it is pi by 2 plus. With respect to that, it is again one more pi by 2 plus. So overall, this line becomes what angle it acquires? Minus 5 plus pi. Okay. So I hope you have got this idea, and remaining, if you are still not understanding, you revise once SHM chapter also. There you will understand. And what I have introduced here, I have introduced AC. It is also nothing but it is introduction to AC. Okay. AC, RLC, series RLC circuit. Series RLC circuit. Okay. After that, resonance. What is the condition for the Q to be maximum? For Q to be maximum, we will get d by d omega of omega naught square minus omega square whole square plus omega square upon tau L R square should be taken as 0. Right? Not this quantity should be maximum. This quantity will be maximum when I take this.
Minimum.
Yeah, this will be minimum. The denominator should be minimum. Sorry, total quantity should be maximum, so denominator should be minimum. For the denominator to be minimum, this should happen. Okay. Square of denominator is minimum. Therefore, this will happen. Now, what would happen after that? Just I'm leaving it for you to solve. I think it is easy. You can solve it, and you can tell me when will it be in maximum charge here. Okay. Second thing is when the current will be maximum. What is current? Current will be, I think, dq by dt. I have already represented the current vector here. Is it current vector? No, it is r times the current vector. If I don't take r into account and I just take q0 into omega, then what would that become? That would become I0. Okay. Right now I can say it is r into I0. So if current is maximum, then what would happen? Tell me. This times omega will be omega only or not? This times omega. You're not into omega.
Yes, sir.
This into omega will be maximum. So if omega is multiplied here, can I take this omega downside so that it is easy for us to solve? I can do that. How to do?
Yes.
I will be written as Q naught into omega I naught. It is, what is I naught representing? Current amplitude. Or I max we can say it is current amplitude. Current amplitude is equal to charge amplitude multiplied by omega. And then we are getting it as V naught divided by root of, just help me here, L into, if I take
1 by omega.
1 by
1 by omega.
1 omega naught square by omega square, I think,
-1.
minus 1 whole square. Is it that?
Yes, sir.
That only? It will be omega, wait a second. I think it will be 1 omega here. And it will be 1 omega here, I think, right?
Omega square only once.
No,
Square
sir.
only?
Again, in square term, it will go inside, no, sir. Omega. only.
Omega only, I think, right?
Yes, sir.
Because it is going inside the square term. Plus, second, we are getting omega square divided by omega. That will be omega divided by tau square LR circuit, time constant of LR circuit square. This is what we are getting. This is I naught. Now, don't think that I remember it. I also don't remember it, but I know how to derive it, and it will not take much time to derive. You can derive it easily this way. Okay. What is I
Sir,
naught now?
at last
Sir,
term,
inside omega will not
1
be
by
there, sir.
1 by
1
tau
by 2
square only, sir.
LR, sir.
Omega will not be there.
Which place? Okay,
1
because
by
it is
2
only
square LR.
understood. It is not entering in the square term. It is just correct. That only 1 by tau square, right? So now I want the current to be maximum. Then again, for I to be maximum, what denominator square will be? For I naught to be maximum, or I naught to be maximum, the denominator is minimum, and we can see clearly when the denominator will be minimum here. It's very easy to tell. Denominator is minimum when omega naught square by omega minus omega is equal to 0, or when I get omega square minus omega naught square is equal to 0, or just omega is equal to omega naught. Okay. When the frequency of oscillation and frequency of oscillation of voltage source matches with that of natural frequency of oscillation of LC circuit, the current becomes maximum. This frequency of oscillation voltage source is also called as, there's a name for this. I'm writing in bracket. This is also called as frequency of AC source, alternating current source, frequency of AC power source or AC voltage supply. Okay. For example, in our home, if you are aware, in India, we have 50 hertz frequency. What frequency do we have? 50 hertz. The power, the voltage supply which we get at our house, in our houses, that will be of 50 hertz frequency. Okay. So it matches with that of natural frequency of oscillation of LC circuit, and then the current becomes maximum. And in this condition, when the current becomes maximum, we call it as resonance. What we call it as resonance. This circuit is said to be in resonance. The circuit is in resonance when current is when omega is equal to omega naught. Circuit is in resonance when omega is equal to omega naught. This resonance term, I will come to it again. I cannot define it properly without telling you something more about it. Okay, I think I should tell you something more here. Then you will come to know what it is. But right now, what part I have to do first? I have to take some question on this technique so that you understand it better, and then I will come to AC. Already AC I have introduced. This is AC only. Okay. And here, this part I have left for you. Just get the answer for this, what it is. You will find out now.
Sir, omega is equals to root over omega naught square,
Omega is equal to
root over
omega
omega
naught square
minus 1/2 tau LR square.
or time constant of LR circuit square. Okay. I think it is right. I remember something like it only. This two term appears here. It is right only, it seems. Okay, fine. So this is done. Let us move on to the. Are you recording or not?
I'm recording, sir, from you.
Recording already. Fine. So let us now go to AC. Before AC, let me add few pages here, and or maybe in that only I can do that. Says this. At last, I can take some questions of time constant of time constant based questions. Time constant of LR circuits. Method is same as I told you. Batteries will be replaced by what is the time constant for this? To determine the time constant, I have to this is R here, and it is here switch was there S, which was opened at T equal to 0. This is here some battery V0. Can you tell me what is the time constant? Or let us do one thing here. That will be better, I think. First, the circuit was open. This is closed at T equal to 0, and then opened again at T equal to 2 L by R or L by R. It's opened again at T equal to L by R. Okay, what we have to do? We have to plot current through the inductor versus time graph. Let me represent this current as I by I only. So just IT graph, but I is represented. I said here what is I? I is nothing but current to the inductor. So to do that, first what happens when we close the switch? What is the time constant at that time? I told you to find the time constant.
2L by R.
We will replace battery by short circuit. This is L, this is R, this is R. But this R comes in parallel with this short circuit. So I think, it will be just 0 only. Then we are left with L and R. So time constant during charging does not mean some charges will be stored in this. Does it mean charges are stored in this? No, it is like magnetic energy is increasing in this. Magnetic energy is increasing because the current is increasing. That is what we mean by charging. It doesn't mean that charges are being stored in this plus and minus, not like that. Okay. So what is the time constant at that time? Or we can say after closing switch, we are finding the time constant after closing switch. That is just L by R. How do we do? Battery is replaced by battery replaced by conducting wire. L by R is that time constant. And what will be the graph for this? For charging this, the graph will be initially current is 0. Finally, it will try to attain what current? I versus time graph. Finally, after a long time, this will act like a conducting wire here. If switch remains closed for long time, then finally we will get I is equal to I infinity. I infinity will be equal to replace L by conducting wire.
2B not by R.
Wait a second. Are you right? I'm doubtful about it. It's wrong only. I think so. Let me check once. This is R. This is also R. This is a battery. This is current which we are finding here. I infinity. It is R. It is R, and it is V. So it will be just V by R. I infinity will be V by R. We are finding only through the inductor. Remember, it is I is current flowing to the inductor here. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Then let me just draw it again here. What would it be then? This way, right? But I have also mentioned that the switch at what time? At t equal to L by R, we are making some changes in this. What changes we are making? We are again opening the switch. If we open the switch, will the current be able to flow through this? No. What happens just after that? After
Sudden change.
opening switch, can I say time constant is again L by R? No, I cannot say no. This I can write as, let us call it as, what should I call it? Maybe I1. I1 I'm saying for time for current for the time less than L by R. So up to this I'm saying I1 part here. And I think I should remove this part here and I should replace it by a dotted line because it is not actually existing. It would be existing, but it is not existing. Like this. What would be the graph from here onwards? From here onwards, it will change suddenly. This is how the graph will be. And what is that line where the change is taking place? At that time, we know this I could write as v by r into 1 minus e raised to power minus t by tau 1. Why I'm saying tau 1? Tau 1 is different from tau 2. Remember, this time constant will not be same for the second part as in the second part. Battery will be not in our diagram. Will it be in our diagram when switch is opened already? When switch is already opened, this part is useless for us. It is just open switch only. We don't need that. It is opened already. So current will flow only in this part. Even if I replace battery by a short circuit, I cannot replace the switch by a short circuit. Switch is open. Even if I replace battery by a short circuit, that doesn't make sense here because no need of that as the switch is already open. So battery is not even in our system. This is R and R is 2R finally. And this is L. So time constant tau 2 will be equal to L by 2R. This is time constant in discharging circuit. Discharging.
Inductor acts as battery circuit.
What? Acts as a battery?
Inductor acts as battery in the discharge.
Inductor will be acting as a battery because L into di by dt will be there in this. So yes, it will make the current flow. Inductor has inertia of current. It will not let the current suddenly die. It can let the current suddenly die only in which cases? When inductor comes in front of another inductor, then some sort of agreement is established, or we open the switch completely so that there is no path for the current to flow. Then also suddenly it will die, otherwise not. So in this particular example, it will be just gradually changing. From what value? What value it has obtained already? It has obtained value v by r into 1 minus e raised to power minus 1. You understand why?
So one time
Because
constant. Before
at t equal to tau 1.
tau.
Tau 1 is nothing but L by R. After that, it starts decreasing again. Okay. So when it starts decreasing again, for that, this initial is like how to write the equation for that part. I hope you will be able to write it. What is the equation? What is the equation for the discharging part? For the discharging part, I think I can multiply by factor e raised to power minus t by tau 2. Is it right or not? But wait a second, the time is not from the origin, time is from here. Then it is a shifted version towards right side. So I should replace time by not t, but if I shift towards right, then it is t minus L by R by tau 2. That is the multiplying factor. And multiplied with what? Multiplied by initial current. What is initial current here? This one. So my answer of second part of this current will be I2 will be. Let us call this as I2. I2 will be initial value v by r into 1 minus e raised to power minus 1 whole multiplied by this factor. That will be I2. Okay. Understood? This will be I2. I can write it as v by r into 1 minus 1 by e into e raised to power minus t minus L by r divided by L by 2r. That is equal to I2. It is for t greater than L by r. Okay. For time greater than L by r. This is what it is. So change is made in time constant, and because the graph is shifted, so I have to write here in place of t minus L by r. If it is shifted towards right, if it is shifted towards left, then I will have to write it as t plus L by r. But it is here shifted towards right. As compared to a standard case, it is shifted towards right, this side. Okay. So One more question I would like to take on time constant. If I have one inductor and another inductor, two inductors are there, and this is L1 and this is L2. What would be the at t equal to 0 switch is closed? Can you tell what is the effective time constant in this case? Here we will have two different time constants. Remember, this is example where these were connected in parallel always. There we will have two
Two
different time
sir.
constants. Two different time constants will be there. So one time constant will be for
Bigger loop, sir.
one thing. Let me think. First, let me think. This R I should have kept it here or separately. I think I should keep it in series here R1 and here in series R2. Then I could say easily what would be the time constant for L1 R1. Battery replaced by short circuit. This is the situation. L1 and L2. Now I have two ways to go. One possibility and another possibility. One possibility I will take L1 R1 and I will take this diagram. Another possibility I will take L2 R2 and I will just means I can assume it is shorted here, or I can assume this upper one is shorted and the lower one remains. Then I will have two time constants. Time constant for the first case is L1 by R1. Time constant for the second case is L2 by R2. Two separate time constants, and hence I can get two separate current values. What will be those values? Charging case, if switch is closed at t equal to 0, then I will be getting V by R1 into 1 minus e raised to power minus t by tau 1, where tau 1 is equal to L1 by R1. Similarly, what is I2? I2 will be V by R2 into 1 minus e raised to power minus t by tau 2, and where tau 2 is equal to L2 by R2. Two separate time constants. Two separate time constants. Okay. All right. What about this example now? Two inductors in parallel, L1, L2, and then in series with some R. Can we get time constant now? Or is it even defined also? One thing I can say here, that this EMF across first one and across second one will always be same, right or no?
Yes.
Because these are always in parallel with each other. What equations do we have here? Time constant, I'm really not sure. I'm starting this question, but I myself not sure. Can we find out time constant or not? It seems unlikely because I don't know what to do with this R. If I want to take L2 in and I take it as short circuit, L2 by R, will it become, or what it would become? It is because I will be getting such a situation so that I will not be able to convert it into a single term. I think I can do one thing here. L1 and L2 are in parallel. I can get effective time constant for I. How can I get effective time constant for I? If these two are in parallel, I can treat like parallel resistances. Means it will become L1, L2 upon L1 plus L2. I can replace by that. And if I replace by that, but only remember mutual inductance is assumed to be 0. Assuming they are so far away from each other. In all these cases, whenever I'm taking multiple inductors, if I'm not taking any mutual inductance into account, it means I'm assuming its flux does not pass through this. The magnetic lines of this can pass through this, but those are negligible which are passing through this. So there is no much mutual inductance. In the case when there is not much mutual inductance, I can treat this almost just like resistors. This is L equivalent. If that is L equivalent, then what we get? We get just simple battery and effective inductor and effective resistance R. Then what is effective time constant for this? Now it is simple. Effective time constant will be equal to L upon R. But that is to determine I. What if they don't ask to determine I, but they ask instead to determine I1 and I2 separately? How will you find it out? I, okay. For I, we can find out this way. For I, we can write V by R into 1 minus e raised to power minus t by tau, where tau is equal to just L by R. This is obtained. But how to obtain I1 and I2 separately? Now, this method we can use. E1 will always be equal to E2. So L1 into di1 by dt will always be equal to L2 into di2 by dt. Cancel dt. L1 into di1 will be equal to L2 into di2. And then integrate both sides. Then we get L1 into I1 will be equal to L2 into I2. If initial currents were 0 to I1 and 0 to I2, then L1 into this, what is it? It is not conservation of flux. It is because what do you mean by conservation of flux? That net flux should be constant of sum of these two should be constant, which is not constant. It is changing. It is not constant. But these two separately are equal to each other. Its and its flux will be equal to each other. Their fluxes are equal. This equation we have here. We can use this equation. If I know this one, then can I get the value of I1 and I2 in terms of total I? Yes, I think I can get now. How? L1 by L2 is equal to I1 by I2. Add 1 both sides. Add 1 both sides. L1 plus
Sir, I2
L2.
by I1. Sir.
I2 by A1.
Which is I2 by I1? This one is I2 here. And this one is I1. And then this one will be I1, I think.
By A1.
This is I total. I1 will become L2 upon L1 plus L2 into I. We are getting I1 value. But we already know what is I here. So I can write now V upon R into 1 minus e raised to power minus t by tau. And this is L1, sorry, L2 upon L1 plus L2. That is I1. And what is L? L is equal to L1 L2 upon L1 plus L2. That is it. So now we are getting it effectively. What is the value of I1? Similarly, we can obtain what?
It will be L1 by
just
L1 plus L2.
one is replaced by 2 and 2 is replaced by 1. Then we get we get
sir.
I2.
I2.
Okay, right only. So this was a slightly different question, and then I can ask questions of energy based questions, or heat dissipated in resistance based questions. It is highly unlikely they ask heat dissipated in resistance. What they can ask most probably power dissipation. Why? Because heat means it will be infinite. If it is continuously passing
sir.
through this, then after infinite time it will become infinite only, right?
Because
But
infinity is infinite.
I can give you a situation where it will not become infinite. Let me think of such situation. For example, if I have a resistance, but anyway, what will be heat dissipated? Heat dissipated will be IR square into dt into R. R will be constant, that can be taken out. So IR is current flowing through a resistor as a function of time. First, we have to determine current as a function of time, and then we have to integrate. And if they are saying total heat dissipated, then I have to take limits from 0 to infinity. If they are saying, if they are not saying just heat dissipated in resistance, but they are saying heat dissipated up to time t, then up to t. If they are saying total heat dissipated, then 0 to infinity. Total means up to infinity it should be. So this will give us finite value only if IR is decaying, it is decreasing with time. Can you get a situation where IR must not be increasing with time, but it must be decreasing with time? Yes, there are possible situations. For example, if I have an inductor and this is a resistance, and initially current was flowing, but then we let me think what we can do. Can I want to make a discharging circuit so that the current decreases in R. How to do that?
Initially, like inductor will be in one
I
circuit.
think I can do this, right? Here I will keep another one, R, and then I will say switch is open. This is good way. This way I can do. So I will say find heat dissipated. Let us name this R1, R2. Heat dissipated in R1 after switch is opened. Now this is the question. Can you get this answer? After opening the switch, this will be decaying only. It will be decreasing. If it is decreasing, the value, how it will be decreasing? What will be the value? Initial value is initially it is I think
VBR.
V.
V by R1 R2 by R1 plus R2.
No. What are you talking about? Initial current through the inductor.
Okay, so V by only through
V
inductor.
by R2 it will be. Initial current through the inductor will be V by R2. And then this current will start decreasing. This current can suddenly change, but I have no control over that. But this current will not change suddenly. It will start decreasing gradually. Finally, it will tend to become 0. This is current I versus T graph, where I is the current through the inductor, not through the battery. We don't care about battery here. But I think I can do it in a much easier way. Actually, one method will be lengthy method is this. That will be, I will write V by R2 into e raised to the power minus T by tau. That is the current, and I can write time constant will be what in this case? Battery is out of the circuit. R1 and R2 are in series. So it will become
by R2.
R1 plus R2 and L upon R1 plus R2. That is the
L
time
by
constant.
R1 plus R2.
So one method will be lengthy method is I square into dt integral and limits 0 to infinity, and then I will write it as into R, which R I am saying here. I am saying R1. This is lengthy method. What will be easy way? Easy way will be I know at any instant of time R1 and R2 will dissipate heat in equal proportion, equal ratio. Is it right or not? At any instant of time. What is the ratio? It is R1 and it is R2, and then this is the current here I. Then this will be, I think, I square R1 and I square R2. It will be I square R1 power and I square R2 power.
R1 is to R2 ratio it will do.
Direction I'm taking wrong. It can be confusion after some time to you. This is the direction of current actually. Okay. So this heat, let us call it H1 and let us call it H2. Then H1 upon H2 is constant, right? It is fixed.
Yes,
That
sir,
will be equal to
R1
R1 by
R2. R2.
Then add one both sides. H1 plus H2 is the total heat dissipated upon H2. Oh, sorry. I wanted H1. So I can do one thing. I can take H1 upon H1 plus H2 will be equal to
It's equal to R1 upon R1 plus R2.
R1 plus R2. What is heat in first? Heat in first is equal to H1 plus H2 total heat into R1 upon R1 plus R2. And I already know what is the total heat dissipated. Whatever energy was stored in the inductor, that will become 0, right or not? So it will be half of L into I square into R1 upon R1 plus R2. What was I here? I was nothing but V by R2. I was nothing but V by R2. It is that. Means it is like I can say initial value only, or the maximum value only. So maximum energy stored was at T equal to 0. That was when current was V by R2. This energy will be finally consumed in R1 as well as in R2. But in what ratio? In the ratio R1 is to R2. Understood? Are you there?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Understood.
Right. But there are some cases where it is unavoidable. We cannot avoid integration. Here I was able to do that only because these are divided in the equal ratio. I think of some cases where it will not be divided in equal ratio. Whereas it can be divided in equal ratio. Other examples where it can be divided in equal ratio is this. If I have R1 here and R2 here, then also it will be divided in equal ratio. If L is this way and it is here current I, it will become, I think, I1 and it will be I2. What will be the ratio now? I think
Will
can
be
you
in
tell what
the
will
yes, sir.
heat dissipated. Don't think in terms of I now. Now you think in terms of voltage V, because voltage is same in all of this.
Yes, sir. V square by R1 and V square by R2.
It is another example. It has nothing to do with another example of discharging of current, discharging of current through inductor. So in this case, what will be H1 and H2? H1 and H2 ratio, if you want to
Will
find,
be
then I
R2
will
by
write
R1, sir.
H1 upon H2, I will write as V square by R1 upon V
Upon V
square by
square by
R2.
R2.
And you know, reason is I1 and I2 are not equal, but
Yes,
V
sir.
and V are equal. Then I will get here opposite H1 upon H2 will be in the ratio R2 upon R1. Then what would be H1 upon H1 plus H2? R2
It will
upon
be R2 upon
R1
R1 plus
R2.
R2 into
Then H1 will become equal to total heat H into H. H is nothing but H is H1 plus H2 total heat. R2 upon R1 plus R2. And total heat energy dissipated will be obviously equal to half of L into the I, whatever I was there initially. Chi square into R2 upon R1 plus R2. No, I'm not telling you what is initial I, but I'm just telling that if this situation comes where we know what is the initial current and finally it is distributing into two parts, then this way we can get. Again, we are able to avoid the integration. Let me think of some case where we cannot avoid integration. Let me think. This one. So will it be indefinite ratio now, or no? It will be different, complicated. R1, R2. Let me think in what ratio it will be. I think it will be like these two can be taken as single resistance, and that is in series with this. So in between these two, it will be shared in definite ratio, right? Ratio will be R1 is to R2, R3 upon R2 plus R3. That is the ratio of heat distribution. And from again, we can split into two equal parts. I think we can still divide in the definite ratio, right or not? We can still divide in a definite ratio. Try doing this yourself only. Try doing this yourself and tell me what will be the heat ratio dissipated. Total heat, total energy which can be dissipated is initial current is I. I is given to us. It's I. Okay, and then after that, some changes were made in the circuit. I'm not discussing those details. Some changes were made. It was part of some other circuit in the beginning. Maybe like this it was, where there was some other resistance here, maybe R something. Then current was already flowing in this, which was I, but then suddenly switch is opened. And then this inductor has to lose energy through these three resistors. And then we have to determine what ratio or what heat is in first and second and third. We can get it, okay? You get the answer in terms of I only, assume I to be given. No need to worry about how it is coming. It is coming from some other circuit here. Okay.
Sir,
Yes.
just after opening half Li square, we will take, no, sir.
Just after opening, we will take half Li square.
Li
Yes. Yes.
Then that I is in steady state of this before.
I is in the old steady state, in the previous steady state,
Yes,
when
sir.
the switch was already closed. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. It was in the old steady state. So one example I can take maybe from this one. Okay. If I have what about in this case? It is R, it is L, and it is R, and this is V. What is energy dissipated in capital R? This is a question from Pathfinder. What is energy dissipated in capital R? Can you find it out?
Yes, sir.
Just after here it is not discharging, but not discharging. It is switch is in fact closed, and then I'm asking what is the energy dissipated in R. But I can ask this question because even though when the switch is closed, it will appear to you that probably the current will be increasing, but not increasing always. In inductor, it is increasing, but in a resistance, it will be decreasing. Why? Because current flowing through the resistance will be I through the resistance will be equal to voltage across inductor divided by R.
Yes.
And what will be voltage across inductor? Voltage across inductor will be L into
Di by dt.
DIL by dt. Can you find that? How to find? First of all, time constant. How to find time constant? I think I can take
Replacing battery as conductor.
R into R upon R plus capital
R
R, right?
plus.
This
Yes.
is L. Then what is the time constant? Time constant is L upon R into
R into R plus R.
right. What is the voltage through the inductor? Voltage through the inductor will be what would that be? First of all, I have to find out the final current after a long time. Then I can get the value. I think the diagram I can make. After a long time, it will be. Let us call the current to the inductor as
V by
IL,
R plus R.
IL versus time I want to plot. So after a long time, it will act like a short circuit here.
V
Right?
by small r.
So it will
Sir,
become V by small r.
plus
No. Why R plus R? Why? What is he saying
Sorry.
really?
Only inductor.
Only inductor, it is V by R only. It is IL. And it will be increasing, and finally becoming this. So equation is V by R into 1 minus e raised to power minus t by tau. That is current to the inductor. What will be voltage across inductor? Voltage across inductor we can get by differentiating. Do I need to differentiate to get the voltage?
Di by dt.
No, I don't need to differentiate to get the voltage. What I will do instead, I will directly find out by taking initial voltage and the final voltage. What is initial voltage across the inductor? Initially, the inductor will be acting like open circuit. Why? Because no current flows through it initially. Why no current flows? Because of tendency of inertia. It was having inertia of zero current. It will continue to be in that tendency. If no current flows through this, then current only goes to small r and capital R. In that case, what would be the
Into R plus R.
V upon R plus R is the current multiplied by, I think, capital R, right? That is a voltage across inductor in the beginning at t equal to 0. This is at t equal to 0. Just after closing switch, 0 plus seconds. So we know that VL value, and then finally we know it will be decreasing only. So it will become V upon R plus R into capital R into e raised to power minus t by tau. Right or not? That is voltage across the inductor.
Yes, sir.
What will be power dissipated? Power dissipated will be VL square by R. Now we can see clearly that power dissipated will decrease with time. What will be energy dissipated? Heat dissipated in resistance R will be this into dt 0 to infinity. Total heat dissipated up to, when they don't mention up to what time, then we have to take up to infinite time. So we can say heat energy dissipated is V square upon R plus R square into E raised to power 1 more R E raised to power minus 2t by tau, I think. Is it right or not? 0 to infinity dt. Getting it? Whatever it is now, we can get, I think. 0 minus can you get it now? You can get it, I think. You can solve it, you can get the answer. Right? So are you there?
Just
Yes.
hold on. Yes. Thank you.
Now, next we have AC. In AC, I have to take RMS values, average values, and all those also have to take.
Reactance.
And other than that, I have to take single circuit. These single circuits I have already done. Let me take this first. Just L, just R, just C. Voltage across inductor to resistor to capacitor. Let us say, what is this representing? This symbol. This is representing alternating voltage. Is alternating means sinusoidal varying. Sinusoidally varying. It is also sinusoidally varying. So if it is sinusoidal varying voltage, then I can write VL as V sin omega t or V sin omega t, V sin omega t in all these places. Okay. Sometimes we prefer to call it V0 just to tell that it is maximum peak value. V0 is usually denoted for peak value, maximum value of the voltage. V0 here, V0 here. Right, like that only. Okay. Is it fine?
Yes, sir.
Now this thing I can write as L into dIL by dt. IL is current through the inductor. Then I have just integrated it and I got the expression. Because it is straightforward, I'm telling you what result we got finally. After integrating, we are getting the result as V0 by omega L into sin omega t minus pi by 2. Why I wrote in terms of sin omega t? Because I want to see what is the phase change with respect to initial value of phase. If I want to see what is the phase change, then this also should be in terms of sign, then the other both should be in terms of sign. If one is in terms of cos, other should also be in terms of cos, right or not? I want to find the relative phase change with respect to voltage. So I can tell IL lags VL by pi by 2 because it is here minus pi by 2, right? Okay.
Yes, sir.
And if I take by R, for R, I don't have to differentiate. For this, it is straightforward. And here, what I think I could not understand. Differentiate, what are you differentiating?
No, sir. By differentiating IL, angle change 90 degrees, phase change.
Yes, by differentiating, it is 90 degree plus, and by integrating, it is 90 degree minus. Yes, this we can remember. Here we are integrating. So with respect to the old value of phase, it is now minus 90 degrees. And by differentiating, here we are differentiating, I think. Yes.
Plus
See, this was
90
Q. This was Q. From here to here, we have to differentiate.
Differentiating.
We have to
You get
differentiate.
plus
And by differentiating, the phase increases by pi by 2. It becomes plus pi by 2. Then we can say IC leads VC by pi by 2, but IL lags
VL by
VL by
pi
pi
by
by 2. But here we are not differentiating at all. When we are not differentiating in case of resistance, it is just IR into R. then we simply say IR and VR is in same phase.
No phase change, sir.
Okay, and no phase
Right.
change. So this is important for you. For example, let us say I give you this voltage as, if I give it this voltage as plus phi naught, then what would be IL value? Do I have to do this all stuff? No, just remember, it is
We can
integration.
subtract minus pi by
So
2
we
from
can
that.
subtract, means we can get answer at last. Everything will be same. It will be omega t plus phi naught minus pi by 2. Just minus pi by 2. Okay. We can get, but
Yes,
wait,
sir.
wait a second. I think you can still not get the answer unless I tell you something more here. Also see what is the magnitude of the current, this current peak value. You cannot just write it as V naught here. It is becoming V naught by omega L. This is V naught by R. This everybody knows already. We have experience from
Sir,
okay. Just I was telling something and then it got disconnected. Let me tell you again. I was saying that this omega L will have same unit as that of R, and 1 by omega C will also have same as that of R because of comparison we can say, right? By comparison we can tell or not.
Yes, sir. Yes.
So it will 1 by 1. What is the unit of omega L? That is also ohm, and 1 by omega C also ohm. Means this is equivalent to a resistance, but we cannot call it as resistance. The reason is this has phase change also additionally. So there's a different name for it. We call it as, rather than calling it as resistance, we call it as reactance. What do we call it?
Reactant.
Reactance. Just it is like equivalent to resistance, but not resistance exactly. And because it is of inductor here, what we call it, inductive reactance also. Inductive reactance. And what is the symbol for that? XL. Similarly, what I will do for this 1 by omega C, I will represent it by XC, and XC will be what? What will be XC called as? Again, reactance,
Capacitive react.
but it will be called as capacitive.
Capacitive reactance.
Capacitive, because it is because of capacitor, so we call it as capacitive
Reactance.
reactance. We call it as capacitive reactance. What is the unit of capacitive and inductive reactance? Both are having same unit as that of resistance, that is ohm only. Okay. But notice, capacitive reactance is inversely proportional to omega.
Yes, sir.
Means if omega becomes large, then this reactance becomes less.
It becomes
If
small.
reactance becomes less, then current becomes more. For large omega, the current starts increasing. And here, for large omega, this is equivalent to resistance. This will be in denominator, so it will reduce the current. For large omega, the current will reduce. So this is important point to be remembered. Inductive reactance will limit the current with increase in omega, and capacitive reactance will increase the current with increase in omega. More frequency means more current through the capacitor circuit. Okay. One more thing. IL lags VL. How to remember it? I know that it will be, if you already learn it, that okay, by differentiation it will be plus pi by 2. I think then also sometimes you may commit mistake. Reason is you will forget, probably you will think where we differentiate here or here, and unless you go through this entire procedure, so you may forget it. So better to go through this procedure 1 or 2 times so that this remains in your mind. Okay, just don't just learn the result, just try to solve it 1 or 2 times. But there's another trick also. I have learned it in that way. I don't have to solve it every time. What I have learned, I know that inductor has normal tendency to make the current not
Oppose.
change to it. It has tendency to not let the current
Oppose the
change.
current.
It has tendency to oppose current. If it will oppose the current, then it will not let the current increase as compared to VL. First VL will come and current will be followed afterwards. Okay, we can just, that is a way to remember. We can say that when the voltage will be initially voltage will start increasing, but current will take some time to increase. It will not be increasing at that time. It will be lagging behind. Just a way to remember. Okay, and it will be leading. But this is just a trick to remember that I can think that current will be lagging because the inductor will try to oppose the current. But it is just a trick. The real mathematics is here. Okay, real mathematics is here. Phasor diagrams. I have told you that I can take sine omega t as reference line. This sine omega t, sine omega t, sine omega t. With respect to sine omega t term, this is decreased by 90 degrees.
90 degrees. Yes,
What
sir.
is this phase? Its phase is minus pi by 2, and it is here 0 degree. This is 0 degree. Both are 0 degree phase only. Same phase.
Yes, sir.
We see 0 degrees, but IC will be leading. It has
90
phase of
degrees.
90 degrees. Okay.
90 degrees. When I say plus 90, then anti-clockwise.
So that is
Anti-clockwise
not
angles are positive,
negative.
and clockwise angles are negative.
Negative.
Okay. So with respect to VL, IL is minus pi by 2. But if I take IL as reference, then what would be VL? Then it will be plus 90. Means
By
if
90
some
degrees.
person has given me, if somebody has given me not equation of VL, but let us say I give you the equation of IL, and I say IL is equal to I naught, maybe cos omega t plus pi by 3. Then what would happen to VL? What will be VL in this?
This increases by pi by 2.
VL will be, first of all, not I naught. It will be I naught into omega L. You know reason? This is the reason. IL is equal to V naught by omega L. So V naught will be IL into omega L. Okay. So first multiply by omega L. This amplitude part is taken care of. Now take care of the phase part. Phase part, first we write cos only. We cannot change cos to sine and sine to cos. We will write cos, and then we will remember that IL lags as compared to VL, or VL leads as compared to IL. If it leads, then plus pi by 2 was, there was pi by 3 here. I have to add plus pi by 2 more. So what it would become? Then it would become plus pi by 3 plus pi by 2. We are getting VL quickly. Is there any other way to get VL? Yes, another way is also there. What is the other way? Other way is the formula L into DIL by dt. If I do that L into DIL by dt, I get the same thing. So then why are we even learning it if we already know this formula? Just to save our time. One person will be wasting time in differentiating, another person will be writing the answer directly. Okay, understood?
Yes, sir.
Right. So this I'm
Sir,
again
can you
rubbing
complete
because
So
okay, then I will
time-
end it. I will end it now. I will end it now. Still, we have some certain things left. I have not discussed even. A lot of syllabus was there this week. What happened really? It's mixed up. So I have not even started that RMS
LC,
and
LR.
average. Okay. RMS and average values I have to take. So
Evening
maybe evening class I will take again.
Okay.
Phasor diagrams.
What?
Phasor diagrams, can you show once?
Phasor diagram.
Sir, some
I will
CW, sir.
show. You can see the phasor diagram. These are the phasor diagrams. This
Thank you, sir.
you can note this also phasor diagrams. I can draw the phasor diagrams by in different ways also. Means it is just taking reference. If VL is this side, then this will be
Depending upon
minus pi by
initial
2.
phase of
In
VL.
as compared to this vector, it will be 90 degree clockwise. That is what it means. I can change the direction. That is not a problem. If this is 0 degrees, and then this will become plus or minus pi by 2. It is anti-clockwise. Then it will be
pi
here
by 2.
minus pi by 2. No, wait a second.
Anti-clockwise.
Anti-clockwise we take plus, right? Anti-clockwise we take
Yes,
plus,
sir,
plus pi,
plus.
plus pi by 2. It will be plus pi by 2. Okay. And if I draw all these put together in one place, then VR and VL and VC all were equal to V naught only. All were equal to V naught values. And these are the corresponding IR and IC and IL. IL will be lagging as compared to these voltages, and IC will be leading as compared to this, and IR will be in the same direction as this. That is it. Now we can end it here.